we'll start off by going through finding courses with our uni website. So I'll bring up my screen so that you can have a look at what's happening here. Alrighty, so this is our uni web homepage. So this is just on uni.edu.au. And this is our homepage. So anytime you click on this uni logo, it will bring you straight back to this page. So it's a great place to start with because most of the links that we'll be using are just all on this page. So the first way and the easiest way to browse for all of our courses is from this page. You'll see the banner with the lady with the glasses, and just underneath that banner, you've got the Find a Course, type a subject or keyword, browse courses, browse units, and apply now. So just by clicking on that browse courses, that will bring up a full list of all the units and degrees that we offer at UNE. So you can see as you're scrolling down on that page, you have quite a few degrees available to choose from. So the main one we'll be looking at will be the Bachelor of Laws 3 years, and we'll also have a quick look at the Master of Laws, which is right down the bottom, down, where's it gone? Down here, there we are, Master of Laws there. So the other way, if you would like to search for different courses, if you're just coming back to this homepage, you've got that type of subject or keyword. So we are looking at law. So just by typing in law, it doesn't have to be all capitals, and just clicking go, it will bring up all of the courses that we offer at UNE that have law in them. So we've got quite a few dual degrees. So we've got, say, Bachelor of Agriculture, Bachelor of Laws, Arts Laws, all of which would allow you to do a dual degree in both law and another area. And then you've got our straight law degrees, and we've got our postgraduate laws down here too. So we'll have a look at the Bachelor of Laws 3 years, which is our professionally qualifying law degree. The reason I'm focusing on this one is because it does actually have a graduate entry. So even though it is a bachelor degree, it is a graduate entry course, which does take 1 year off the full 4-year law degree. So you can see just by clicking on this law degree, you've got, so the Bachelor of Laws 3 years, you've got all your general information and the information of going through the Bachelor of Laws. So one thing to note here would be the Bachelor of Laws does not include the professional legal training. So if you are wanting to go on to become a lawyer or a professionally qualified lawyer or barrister practicing in Australia, you will need to go on to do your professional legal training, which is all noted here in that information section there. So it's about half a year full-time training, which can be done. We do offer it to be done through UNE as well. You can also do it outside in your state or territory where you are in Australia. So you do also have the option of an honours pathway with the Bachelor of Laws 3 years so that you can go through it that way. We do have some courses that do go towards the PLT. A lot of the time, if you're wanting to do the PLT, you do have to do it through so the Legal Professional Board of Australia, so the LPAB, or you can do them with your state or territory. So New South Wales has a specific state and territory, a specific board that does the professional legal training. Otherwise, I know that Queensland has a separate one, Victoria does as well. It would really just depend where you are as to which professional legal training you would do. So in this course, you'll see you've got 3 years full-time. That can be generally, if you're studying part-time, which is 2 units per trimester, it is generally 6 years part-time, but you've got up to 10 years to complete all of those subjects. You've also got your fees cost here. So if you're an international student, the application process and the applying for the advanced standing and such, they may be completely different, and your eligibility for the course may be different as well. I can only really advise on domestic students, but if you are an international student and you would like more information on the applying or the applying process, you're welcome to contact the international team. But for Australian citizens, permanent residents, and New Zealand citizens, this course is offered under Commonwealth Supported Place, or CSP. So that means that the course cost is government subsidised, and if you are an Australian citizen, you can defer all of those costs to your HECS help loan, so you don't actually have to pay anything up front. You can see the ATAR selection rank. If you're coming in as a mature age student, so basically not coming in straight out of grade 12, which if you are coming in through the graduate entry, you wouldn't be, you can basically just ignore this section. So this course is offered in trimester 1, 2, and 3. So our next intake is trimester 2. So those classes will start on the 29th of June, and applications will close on the 19th of June, which is this month. So if you are wanting to study in trimester 2, you do definitely have the option of starting. Otherwise, our next intake after that will be our trimester 3. So classes for that trimester will start on the 26th of October, and applications will close in mid-October. Otherwise, you can apply to start in trimester 1 in 2021. So classes for that will start on the 1st of March, and those applications are expected to open in about mid-August this year. So this is your general information on the Bachelor of Laws. So when you're looking at more specific information, so what sort of units are included and what units you can choose from, you're wanting to come over to this course rules and plans tab. So this will be the same for all of our courses. It is all set out the same way. So once you know, once you have an idea of how to use our system and go through it, the website this way, it will be the same for all of your courses. So with the course rules and plans, you've got your admission to candidature. So a graduate candidate should hold at least a 3-year degree. So this will be the rule that we're looking at, which is Rule A, so which is the graduate entry pathway. So if you're having a look at that, you just come down and you're looking at the program of study. So you've got your first program of study here for candidates admitted under Rule A. So you've got your core units, your listed units, or your honours units. And to see more information on that, just underneath, you'll see a little link that says to view complete program of study, click here. So you just click on that link there, and that will bring up all of the different units that are included in this Bachelor of Laws. So you go through, you've got all of these units here under this orange section, and these are your core units. So your core units are subjects that all students have to do to complete this degree. So you've got 96 credit points. So each unit is worth 6 credit points. So this is a total of 16 units that all students must do. So you basically just continue through all of these. Now, in addition to that, you've also got your listed units and or your honours year. So your honours year is right down the bottom here, which is this section here. If you are wanting to do honours in law, you are more than welcome to, and you will just need to complete at least your first year before you go on to apply for that honours year. Now, with the rest of the listed units, if you're wanting to do just coursework, you would complete 8 of all of these units here. So you can see there's quite a lot there. You don't do all of them, you just choose 8. If you are wanting to do the honours units, then from here, you would just simply complete 5 of those units and then do the honours year as well. So that makes up for that extra year. So you've got 2 years for your core units and then 1 year for your listed and or your honours year. So those are all of the units you can choose from. So within those listed units, it does mean that you can choose to specialize. So say you can take a few units in employment law, you could do conveyancing. There's quite a few international laws. So you've got your international investment, trade, human rights, as well as a heap of different ones. So you're more than welcome to choose which sort of law units. You can take completely different ones if that's what you're wanting to do, so that you've got a wide background. Otherwise, you've got a lot of different health units, taxation units, international units, so you can choose to specialize a little bit further. Now, if you would like to find out more information about each of those units, you can see here you have a unit code next to them. So we'll go up to the top, and this first unit here is Law 100, Foundations of Law. So this is one of your core units, but if you'd like to find more information on what that unit includes, so the assessment and such, that unit code there, you can just copy it and put it in this unit search box here. And you can do this for all of the units at UNE. So just type in Law 100 or whichever unit code it is and just click go. And that will bring up when that unit is offered. So you can see it's offered in trimester 1, 2, and 3, both online or on campus. There are no intensive schools for this course, so you don't have to attend any on-campus classes at all, and you won't have to for any law units. So the entire Bachelor of Laws 3 years can be studied fully online. You won't need to step foot on campus if you don't want to. So you can see here, there's also a supervised exam. So it can be paper-based at one of our exam centres. So we've got over 200 exam centres all over Australia. So if you are wanting to take it as a paper exam, you're more than welcome to. You would just select an exam centre that is closest to you. Otherwise, you can choose to do it online. And if you're wanting to do an online exam, all you'd need is a computer or a laptop with a stable internet connection, a webcam, and a quiet room. And you just go through, you can book your exam to be at a time of the day that suits you. And it means that you don't even have to leave your house to do those exams. You can see if there's any prerequisites. So because we're looking at the Bachelor of Laws 3 years, you are neither in the Advanced Diploma in Paralegal Studies nor the Bachelor of Legal Studies, which means this prerequisite does not apply to you. So it means that there are no prerequisites for your course. You can see who your unit coordinator is. So if you're coming in trimester 2 and studying it from the start, your trimester 2 coordinator will be Miss Jennifer Graney, and you've got her email there as well. So you're welcome to contact any of your course coordinators just to find out more information if it's not listed on our website. So you can see there's also a short unit description, and you can see the textbooks that are required. So you've got prescribed textbooks, which is the laying down the law. So all students must have that textbook to be able to do this unit successfully. And then you've got your recommended material, which is optional. So if you don't have these textbooks, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to fail the unit and it's not going to disadvantage you at all. It would just give you a little bit of a boost, or it would allow you to do some further reading into different topics to be more prepared for things like your exam at the end. Now, to find out what assessments that this course will have, you can just go over to the additional information tab. So you can see there you have one large assignment, you have 3 quizzes, each worth 10% each, and you have a final examination, which is worth 40% of the grade. So you can see there it's a supervised exam, it's via webcam and screen sharing technology, and then your assessment is worth 30% and it will be 1,000 words. And your quizzes will each be worth 10%. Now, quizzes are all done online as well. You'll have about a week to complete the quiz. So the quiz will come up, you'll have a week to complete it. And when you open and start that quiz, you'll have an hour from the time that you start that quiz to complete it. And you can find this information for all of your subjects, and same with your learning outcomes. So this is what you will achieve by the end of this unit. So if you complete this unit successfully, it means you have completed all of those learning outcomes, and you would meet those learning outcomes to be able to continue on to the next unit. So that's how you search for different units in the Bachelor of Laws or in any of our degrees. And for the Bachelor of Laws 3 years, if you're wanting to find the progression of the units, you would simply go down all the way to the bottom of this program of study here, and then you have the course plans for each commencing trimester. So the Bachelor of Laws can be studied either full-time or part-time. It is completely up to you. And with the whichever trimester you're commencing in, you can do it fully online, and you can study either full-time or part-time in any of our trimesters. So because trimester 2 is our next upcoming intake, we'll have a look at the trimester 2 course plan. So just clicking on that link, you can see that we have a couple of different models. So if you are wanting to spread your units out a little bit more over the reaccreditation for the Bachelor of Law. Sorry, I just saw your message there, so let's have a look. Yes, sure. So the reaccreditation is simply, so we've had the accreditation for the Bachelor of Laws for 10 years, and every 10 years that reaccreditation has to be updated. So that's currently pending at the moment. We're not expecting it to have any issues with it at all. So the Bachelor of Laws 3 years, if we just go back to that front page there, you'll be able to see let's have a look. There it is. It's a reaccreditation, which it's just to make sure that when you graduate, you are able to go on to become a legal practitioner. And it's also confirming the mutual accreditation. There has been some recent changes in the accreditation in both New South Wales and some other states. We have changed our Bachelor of Laws in the last year to meet those updated requirements, and our others, and also because the other states have also changed their requirements as well, we are just matching up that accreditation just to confirm that it is all done. That's only been pending for the last month or so, so it shouldn't, you should be absolutely fine even if you do come in trimester 2. We're not expecting to have any issues whatsoever, and even if they do come back for any reason and say that we need to change it slightly, it may just be a unit, and all students would be advised of that, and the course would be changed in accordance to that. So it is very likely that you wouldn't need to do any additional units, or there would be any change, but if there is, even when you're in that course, we would keep you fully updated on the accreditation at the moment. So we are just still waiting on that accreditation. So where was I? Oh, the course rules, course plans. So again, right down the bottom, oh, here we are. No worries. So with that course plans there, you've got the couple of different models. So the first one is the 3-3-2 model, which basically means you study 3 units in trimester 1, 3 units in trimester 2, and 2 units in trimester 3. And that does mean that students are able to study a full-time course load while not having the pressure of studying all 4 units in each trimester. So each unit is worth approximately 150 hours of study, which sounds like a lot, which is why it is broken down into about 12 to 15 hours per week per unit. So if you are studying just 1 unit per trimester, which you are welcome to do, you'd need to budget about the 12 to 15 hours per unit. Otherwise, if you're studying 2 units, then you'd be looking at 24 to 30 hours and so on. So if you are looking at studying 4 units, that does get up to about the 48 hours of study per week, which can be quite overwhelming, especially if you are working at the same time. So in spreading out those units a little bit further, it means that a little bit of that pressure is relieved while you're still able to complete that full degree while technically studying part-time within the 3 years. The other option there is just to do the 4-4 model, which is full-time in trimester 1 and 2, and then nothing in trimester 3. So trimester 3 is our optional teaching period. So if you do not want to study in trimester 3, that is absolutely fine. It is completely up to you. Then you've got the part-time course plan. Again, over trimester 3 means that instead of the full 6 years that it would generally take if you studied it in trimesters just 1 and 2, it means you'd have an extra year or so. Otherwise, if you're just wanting to do it over trimester 3 as well, we've only put 1 unit in each trimester 3, so it's nowhere near as strenuous, but it does mean that you'd be able to complete that full 3-year law degree in about 5 years part-time. So just to take that pressure off, especially if you are working, and especially if you're working full-time during that period. So these are just the suggested course plans if you are getting advanced standing, which I'll go through in a moment. If you've done some of those law units and you're wanting to get credit for them, if you're wanting to study more units or less units each trimester, it is completely up to you. So you can study 2 units in your first trimester, 3 in your next, 1 in the next one after that, and then back up to 4, however you would like to do it. So it is completely up to you how many units in each trimester you do study. So if you have studied law before and you're wanting to get credit for a couple of those law units that you've done, you do just have to be aware that there is a 10-year limit on law units, but you are actually able to apply for advanced standing. So you'll see if you go back to the Bachelor of Laws 3 years, there's a section here on advanced standing. It doesn't tell you a whole lot, but it just basically says that the units that you get credit for do have to be from an accredited law degree, just so that you are able to keep that accreditation. The same way that this course is getting me accredited, you do need to have your accreditation as a student as well. And by making sure that if you are getting credit for those units, that those units do come from an accredited course, it does mean that you are able to go on to do your PLT and become a legal practicing lawyer. So if you are wanting to get credit, you can get up to 66% of this course as credit. So that's 2/3. So technically it would be, if you're looking here, maximum of 16 units if you've already done some law units. If you haven't done law units before, that is absolutely fine. You would just follow that course program as normal. But with advanced standing, I'll just show you the easiest way to find that information. Now, all of the links about advanced standing, how to apply, the course information, browsing courses, I will put all of that information in, I'll put all of those links in the chat at the end once we've gone through all this information. That way you've got all of the contact details and the links there just to follow or to copy for a time that you would like to have those. So always coming back to this UNE homepage as the easiest way to go about it, you've got this search bar at the top here. So if you're just searching here, we call it advanced standing. So universities will call it different things. Some universities call it credit transfer, others call it recognition of prior learning. We just call it advanced standing. It's all the same thing, and it's a fairly straightforward process. So just by searching advanced standing, you'll see this first link here is the one you're looking for. Now I'll put this link in the chat as well. Let's have a look. You've received a skills assessment. Yes, you absolutely can. So following on from your question there, if you do just need to complete a couple of units, we do have quite a few students who come into this Bachelor of Laws 3 years and just do those subjects that you need to do. So if you've been directed specific subjects to complete, I would recommend having a look at the program of study in the law that we were in before, going through those, having a look and making sure those ones do match up. I would recommend contacting, it was for Law Society of Victoria. So have a look at those units that you think you need to study, and then reply back to the Law Society of Victoria. Just say, these are the subjects from the University of New England. If I complete these ones, will you allow me to continue on to the PLT? So just to confirm, we do realize we are aware that all of those units do match up and they are all accredited at the moment. We're just seeking accreditation for the full degree. With those additional units, just list them in the email saying they're coming from the University of New England. Link them if you can as well, and send that off. Just that way, it does mean that you can be sure that the units that you study with us are fully accredited, and they would allow you to continue on, and that they do actually match up with those units that you do need to do. So most students, a lot of students who do come into this degree do that. If you are wanting to do just those couple of subjects just to get your accreditation and go onto the PLT, what you can then do is you can come in, do those couple of subjects, and then withdraw. So it means you wouldn't actually need to apply for advanced standing at all, because you're not looking at completing the full degree. You're just looking at completing those couple of units that you need to get through to your PLT. So that would probably be the easiest way to do it. If you would like, if you want to suggest or send us an email, if you just send us an email to askune@une.edu.au and just put in all of those units that the Law Society of Victoria have suggested you do, we can help suggest ones to match up, and we can put all the links in there for you. And even if you then forward that on to the Law Society of Victoria, it means that the Law Society of Victoria can confirm that those are in fact the units that you would need to complete that full degree, if that makes sense. Does that all make sense? I'm not sure if I explained that correct in an easy way for you. It's not the simplest topic. Great. All right, so with advanced standing, it means you probably wouldn't need to worry about it. If you do want to apply for advanced standing and get that full degree, basically, especially if you've got 8 subjects to do, I would you're more than welcome to apply for that advanced standing, and that application is just there. But I'll leave it there for now, seeing as you don't really need that advanced standing and you're just wanting to go through those couple of subjects. Now, for course costs, there's a couple of different ways you can find that. So the easiest way, again, is to just come up the top here and type in fees. So it will bring up a couple of different options for you here. And you're just wanting to come down to this third one. If you just type in fees, it will be the current students here, fees and costs. So you can see there's a couple of different options here and information about textbooks, off-campus students. You will have a student amenities fee. It is only about $30 per subject, and that's just to help pay for the library. So you can actually get textbooks and physical books posted to you with free return postage from the library. So you are still able to borrow books. You've got access to research journals. So any research journals that you might need, any law journals, anything like that, you've got access to all of those. We have counselling services. We have 24/7 online tutors. We have assignment proofing services, so you can submit your assignment and then within 24 hours you get that assignment back with comments on the grammar, structure, spelling, all of that sort of information. So that's what the student amenities fee is for. For the actual fee of the course, you can just come over here and go to our student fees, and then it'll pop up with the 2020 course fees. So if you are an Australian citizen or permanent resident or New Zealand resident, you'd be looking at a Commonwealth supported place for this course. So it does mean that the course is government subsidised, and it does come in under a band 5. So band 5, you can see student contribution bands and charges per EFSTL. So under band 5 is where law pops in under, and that's $1,394 per unit, which means that if you're studying 8 units per year, the full year would cost $11,152, but you only pay for those units that you are studying. So say you're only studying 2 units in the trimester. For that trimester, it would only cost you the twice that $1,394, which would be about $2,500. So if you are an Australian citizen, you can defer all of those costs to your HECS help loan. If you are a permanent resident with us, you would just have to pay those up front, but at the start of each trimester, but you would only pay for those units that you are actually studying. So even though you may be studying say 4 units over the full year, you don't pay for all of those subjects. You just pay for those couple of subjects that you may be studying in that trimester. So you can see there's different bands, and that's where you'd find all of the different course costs. You can actually also search for individual course costs. So just under this one, you can search for the unit. So it's say law 100. Make sure the year's set to 2020, and you can run that way. So you can see this one's actually offered under a band 3, but it does cost the $1,394. Again, I'll put these links in the chat at the end so that you can see all of those. Okay, so if you're an international student, I myself don't have the information for the course costs and the application process. It is a completely different application process to the domestic students. So as an international student, I would recommend contacting the international team. So they're available from 9 to 5 Sydney time, Monday to Friday. And you can just give them a call or send them an email, and they're more than happy to answer any questions. And they can also do the linking up of units for you. So if you want to find the international team, you can, again, just up in their search bar, international, and all of their contact details will be on this page here. So you can see information about all of the different courses that are available for international students. Eligibility, scholarships, because there are scholarships available for international students. Your application process is here, and if you did want to study on campus, you are also welcome to. So their contact details are down here. So this would be the number I would recommend calling. I'll put that one in the chat for you now. So give them a call, or you're welcome to send them an email. Their email is just askune@une.edu.au. So askune@une.edu.au. And that's in the chat there now for you. So contact them, let them know that you're an international student, the units that you're wanting to do in the Bachelor for 3 years, and they'll be able to take you through all of those course costs and how to apply for international students.